Hi everyone, I'm Hales and welcome to my channel. Or should I say welcome back to my channel, because I have been a bad vlogger and I haven't vlogged for about a month. And there is reason for that, and that is because I've made two really ugly items of clothing which I'm going to show you today. And I've had plans coming all around my head and my head feels like it's going to explode and I can't focus, and I've completely lost my, well, it's getting back, but I had lost my sojo completely and I haven't sewn really anything and I haven't been in the mood to sew, and I have been binge watching on Netflix. But anyway, that has occupied my time. I have felt exhausted from going to an extra school run because my son started high school this September. Dark nights, cold weather, really boring stuff, all add up to no videos on this channel. Things are about to change though, and I will get to that later on in the video. If you are new here and you are happy to stick with me, then please hit that subscribe button, because there are some exciting things coming up in the next month or so that you might want to stay tuned for. I'm not sure which of the two disastrous items of clothing to show you first. I think I made a cardigan. Let me just go and get it and I'll put it on and you'll see. And before I just put them on, I'll just say that I am probably a bit strange in the world of sewing, in that if something is sitting there and it's half done or it's gone not quite right, I have to finish it even though I know halfway through it's going to be terrible. And with these two items of clothing, the second item, which is actually hanging up here, I had a few problems with it. I had issues with fit. I wouldn't even start on the fabric, which is, my daughter said it's like a granny fabric, and asked if I was making a gardening apron for my mum. So yeah, that was great. But I have to finish the project off before I can then start another one. I don't know, maybe I just feel like I've been defeated by a pattern if I give up halfway through. So now that's kind of finished, I feel like, and my desk is a bit tidier, I feel like I can move on to my next project. Anyway, enough waffle, and let me just go and get this awful cardigan. So this is a free pattern. I was looking at the Blackwood cardigan by Helen's Closet, and I thought, oh, I quite like that, a long line cardigan. But then someone mentioned in the comments on somebody else's video that there was a free pattern by Sinclair Patterns for a cardigan which is virtually the same as the Blackwood cardigan. Now this fabric is what I bought from the Festival of Fabric, and it was £6 for like a big length of it, but it was tubular. And what I stupidly did was I didn't cut the tube and then just fold it over. So I actually, the pieces where you cut on the fold, I just cut on the tube, on the edge of the tube. But it then meant it went wonky, so the stripes don't completely line up because I think the fabric had slipped a bit because I cut it out wrong. Also, excuse me, I'm just recovering from a sore throat, endless germs at this time of year. It's basically, it's too tight and it's quite itchy. That is obviously not the pattern, that is the fabric. It is an open cardigan, so it sits like that, and it's not meant, there's no fastenings or anything, and it's not designed to have any fastenings on it. And I realised after making this that I like a cardigan to, if there's no belt or anything, to wrap it around and feel cosy if it's cold. Now as you can see, there's not loads of stretch to this fabric, but when it's designed to be open, it's just, you know, it doesn't meet, so it feels tight. That's purely down to the style. The things which went wrong were that I sewed it on my overlocker, and I am a disaster when it comes to the overlocker. I mean, look at that. Look at the way that it is just completely stretched out, and it's just, I can't get that to sit flat at all. I mean, that does kind of line up, but I mean, that is awful. And in fact, so it's like twisted a bit. The lines on the band are skew width because, again, I cut it on the tubular bit, and I'm just going to tilt the camera down slightly so you can see the bottom of it, and how one side is about 2 inches longer than the other. So I'm just going to take it off my face for a sec, and you have to excuse the noise because the kids are watching a movie in the room next door. But look at where it ends. So if I hold it next to each other, you can see, I think, you know, It's about 2 inches longer on this side than it is on this side. The bottom band, as you can probably see it, that is all stretched out and just sticking out, and it feels tight up here. The fabric is itchy, but it's just wonky, wobbly, and it's awful. Now the size that I cut, and also there are pockets, but because everything's stretched out so much, I didn't put the pockets on. Now I did the petite, there was an option for a petite cardigan or like the regular one, so I chose the petite. And also this you can have as a short cardigan, like a midi cardigan or a long cardigan, so I went with the long version. Maybe there's a duster length. I think there might even be a longer version of this. There's about 3 lengths, so I went with the long cardigan. I didn't shorten it at all, just went with what they did, but I printed the petite one in, and I printed the UK 16, which is I think US 12. And for the first time ever, I had success with printing a layered pattern. So this is a PDF. And if anyone hasn't done this, if you download the Adobe app, so I downloaded it onto my MacBook, and then you can go in there and there's a symbol of like pages like on top of each other, and you click on that and you can choose the size that you want. So it shows all the sizes. So if you're between 2 different sizes, you can unclick the boxes, so you print just 2 sizes, and you can still then grade out. It just means you're not printing all 8 sizes or whatever they've got, and then having to like cut to find which line is yours and then cut to the right one, or trace. You can literally just print a single size, or you can print like 2 and grade out. So that's really handy, and that's the first time I tried that, and that was really easy once you open the file through Adobe, and then it's all there, because I couldn't work out how to do it. Anyway, so yes, so this, I'm going to get it off because it's really itchy. I don't think that I'm going to make it again. The disaster in the wonkiness is down to my overlocker, and I tried 3 thread rather than 4 thread, and when I tried starting the fabric through, it was just churning around and just jammed, and then I had to like pull it through my overlocker, and then of course it's all stretched out. I haven't a clue what I'm doing on my overlocker, so I'm just going to stick to trimming seams rather than trying to sew stuff on my overlocker, and then I think I'll be okay. So that is disaster number 1. Disaster, kind of success is number 2. Let me just go and put it on. This is disaster number 2. It is Simplicity 8302, and it is, I originally bought it for the jacket, but then I thought I would have a go at the top, being a V-neck top, and I had some fabric. Now, this is the fabric. My daughter said it's awful. You can see I'm not a floral person at all. Oh, wonky necklace. I'm not a floral person at all. I bought this on a D-Stash account, and it was cheap. It's a viscose. It is pretty ugly. But the disaster is that it's ugly, and let me pan down. It's like super long. So, well, I suppose it's not too long. It's kind of tunic length, and I think it would be more modern if I chopped off some off the length. Now, why I say it's not a complete disaster is in terms of fit. I fitted this from, I did a tissue fit. Now, I have the Palmer and Pletch Pants Are Real People, and they talk all about tissue fitting and trying to get things right rather than make a toil, you do the tissue paper. I had a bit of a disaster with the trousers, but I thought I would give it a go with this top. And I've had this problem in the past where anything up here, I have like, I guess they call it a hollow chest or something. It's been like really gapey here, so it's fitted fine at the bust, but then I've had all this excess material here. So, and also there is a facing, which I haven't interfaced because I couldn't find any interfacing, and I haven't pinned it down, so it is, or stitched it down, so it's just poking out because I guess this is like a rough toil. but I pinched out some of the neckline and then added length at the shoulder. So this bit here was reduced and then just added a bit of length. Because I also feel some of my tops are like pulling forward. I guess it's that thing, I don't know if anyone saw that image going around the internet a few months ago. Someone had come up with a robot, I think it was, of what we would look like in like 20 years time, and it's basically someone like hunched like really badly over, because they said from working at computers or looking at screens, and I guess sewing machines as well. If I can find the picture, I'll insert it in the video, but it showed someone. But obviously a lot of people now do have rounded shoulders, and I think I have probably bad posture, but I do find then the tops are pulling. So I added length here, took length out here, and I haven't got all this excess fabric that I normally have. So it fits nicely here, on here. The arms were a bit, I cut large on the arms because I thought I said before, I carry weight up here, and so a lot of sleeve patterns I'll find that they're just too tight. So then I go overboard and cut like the biggest size on here and a smaller size on here. There's just too much fabric. So I did take it in a bit here. It is, and also it's supposed to have a zip in the center back, so the back piece isn't cut on the fold. But when I was piecing it together, I basted it. I thought, I wonder if I can get away with getting it on and off without putting a zip in, and I can. But if I go like that, it is pulling, and I do feel like I could easily go and then like rip open. But it's not too bad, it's just the fabric choice is awful. So this hasn't been hemmed obviously here, and I haven't hemmed here either. So whether that just needs to, you know, like if that was just a little bit shorter or even cut off like there. But actually in terms of fit, I was quite happy with the way that that's all sat. And now I've realised, obviously with the top patterns, if I try and do that, you can't do that on a PDF pattern, because you're printing like me at home and it's printing on normal white paper, you can't do the tissue fit on that. And I don't have special tracing paper which I can do then the fit on it. But I think that's something I need to keep in mind, is that the excess gaping that I've had here from my rounded back or rounded shoulders, I can eliminate if I literally pinch it out, but so it doesn't pull too much from the back, then just add a little bit at the shoulders so it puts it all in the right place. So the fabric is awful, the length is too long, so I'm not going to wear it, but I have learned a good lesson from fitting this, and so I'm quite happy with the fit. I won't wear this top out. I don't know if I necessarily make this exact pattern even in a better fabric, but I'm quite happy with what I've learned, so I know that I can then use that to move on. I also sewed this on my vintage machine, and because it was viscose, I think I was having loads of problems with the tension, and I think the foot wasn't sitting firm enough down. I think I needed to drop, somehow fiddle with the screw so it held the fabric tighter, because the cottons were just pulling straight out from the bobbin tension, and that didn't help my motivation to get things done and get other things doing. But I'm gonna get changed back into what I was wearing and then just tell you quickly what I've got coming up. So that is the tale of two disastrous pieces of clothing. But now we're getting towards the end of November. We have December to look forward to, and I am going to try and do vlogmas. I'm not probably going to post every day because my life really isn't that exciting and I just don't have time or enough stuff to film every day. But I have got some ideas up in my head to do some regular videos throughout the month of December, and on the 23rd of December I will be having a post on the vlogger sewing team, which is hosted by Laura at the Specky Seamstress, and more details will be coming up. I'll put some details below in the description box, but if you keep an eye on my Instagram, I'll be posting there and it will be uploaded onto my channel as well. So that is something to look forward to, well, for me to look forward to for filming, and to have some things and to make some things which will help to decorate my house, because I don't know about you, but I have the same decorations year after year, and so I thought this year I would make some things, film some things so you can see, and then I benefit because they will help to decorate my house at the same time. So that is all coming up. One other thing. Well, I've got two patterns to show you. One is Lizette from Butterick B6385. This is a coat pattern that I bought with the view of doing this one here with the funnel collar. Now, I entered a competition on Instagram with Textile Express and I won a voucher from them. So I used that voucher to have some money off some wool coating. Let me just get it. Now I could use the voucher for anything on their site, but I thought I'd choose it to have some wool coating, and here it is. And I should, I can't remember, it was wool, I think it might be Wool Melton, I can't remember now because it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago that I got this, and I've bought 3 meters of it, and obviously I need to probably steam it because it's wool and get interfacing and that kind of thing. I also bought a curtain from the charity shop so I could do a toil. That hasn't happened. I can't see that happening in the next so many weeks. I think that might be a project for January because I've got too much on and I don't want to rush it and I want to take my time. But when I get around to making it, I will probably do something like the coat diary. So I will try and film it as I do it so you can then keep an eye on it and see how I'm getting on. Excuse me. The other thing, hang on. The other pattern is something I have in mind to make a Christmas jumper. Now this will be part of a vlogmas video at some point in December. I haven't started on this yet, so it might not be. It is Simplicity 8529, which is actually what people know from Sew House 7. It's their toaster sweater. And I really thought this looks quite cozy with that sort of funnel collar. I'll just flip it around. And there's different lengths and different finishes. So this looks more like a sweatshirt type pattern. And then you've got this one which has like the slits at the side. But the idea, and I got that off eBay because the toaster sweater was either £14 or $14 for like a PDF. And then I scored this one off eBay because I know that they sold their pattern, I guess, to Simplicity. And at some point it was with Sew Magazine. I didn't buy Sew Magazine, but I got this off eBay and I think I got it for about £5. So it's a lot cheaper buying this one than it is buying the actual toaster sweater off their website. I assume it's the same one. I haven't double checked. Let me just have a quick sip of water. I assume it's the same pattern, might be slightly different, but I thought I would give it a go. And so I have got some sweatshirt type, like fleece back sweatshirt fabric which I might use, but it's a bit of a funny colour. It's like a greeny blue and it's not necessarily what I've got in my mind, so I might just use it as a toil to see what it's like in terms of sizing for the pattern. But I have got that earmarked for that pattern for a Christmas jumper. That's part of my plans coming up for December. I've got some really naff fairy lights, so I'm going to try and work on my background so it's a bit more pretty to look at for Christmas. And so stay tuned to this channel. Like I said, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you very soon.